Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Great news, my friends. It's time to continue our brand new journey through Star Trek: The Next Generation, this time with Season 1, Episode 9, The Battle. Sounds promising. Let's see where it goes, friends. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to board the NCC 1701D or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time for The Battle, the 9th episode of the very first season of the one and only Star Trek: The Next Generation. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
Log stardate 41723.9.
Ferengi, right? I'm hoping.
Having rendezvoused with a Ferengi vessel which has requested a meeting. Although we arrived here and made appropriate signals to the Ferengi 3 days ago, they have so far responded only with the message, "Stand by."
3 days, Jesus.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, Doctor. Sit down.
Where are we?
Perhaps maybe nothing, but I've been feeling a bit odd of late.
Is this like his office? It's awesome.
And now I got this damned headache.
A what?
Headache.
Of course. But I don't often encounter them.
Oh boy. No more headaches?
Stand by, Enterprise. Stand by for what? Baiting some kind of trap.
I see nothing physically wrong, but I want to run some additional scans in sickbay.
Stress?
On my way, number one. Sorry, Doctor. Duty calls.
Haha. I'm using this to get out of that.
Identified their commander as Bok. DaiMon Bok.
DaiMon Bok.
We are transmitting visually.
Is this the Captain Picard?
Do we know each other?
I am Bok, DaiMon of the Ferengi.
They've heard of you.
Discuss a mutual problem. On speaking of that matter, in person, shall we meet on your vessel?
Hailing frequencies closed.
Troy?
Captain, I sense considerable deception on Bok's part.
Then we should meet him here. Keep him under our control.
She is incredible.
We would like you to be our guest here. In 1 hour, DaiMon Bok. They did agree a bit easily. Well, in 1 hour, we shall know why.
I'm telling you what. She is dope as hell. To have an advisor that you can just, first off, at first glance, I don't think you can tell that she's, Beta Z. If you look, you're not going to think anything of it. And that she's reading you from across this distance, oh my God, that is so good. Jean-Luc is telling us about the Final Frontier, but she's invaluable. You immediately know this guy's lying to you. And if you thought he was lying to you, you have it confirmed. What a way to go into a negotiation knowing that you're not trying to figure that part out first. You're going in armed with that knowledge of where you stand to initiate this dialogue. She is MVP for me across the board. I got myself laughing the other day thinking about if Jim Kirk had Troy on the original Enterprise, how many of those things would have been absolutely averted? He's lying. They're lying. It's like it would have been, so there's so many shows that wouldn't have gone anywhere. Oh, I love the counselor. I like the counselor position, period. I think it's really cool.
You're always accustomed to getting your own way, Doctor.
Only when my way makes sense, Captain.
Well, you asked her.
You should not have a headache unless there's something wrong, sir. It may be true that headaches were once quite common, before we understood the nature of pain, when we were suffering from things such as the common cold.
Pain's gone.
Medical fakery. The pain is actually still there. It's just cloaked.
Interesting.
Doctor.
When the Ferengi matter is settled.
It was like a Tylenol injection.
Wesley, we've got something to report.
If you'll scan heading 44 Mark 163, Lieutenant, you'll find...
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse power.
Ensign, answer the first officer's question.
Says the long-distance sensors, sir. I was in engineering, playing around with boosting the sensor output.
Boosting it.
Huh? Data's asking how?
Starship heading this way under impulse power. Sending no call letters, sir.
Oh.
What's wrong?
Just a mild headache.
It's back.
Receiving no signal at all from the approaching starship.
Do you see any problem connected with this old starship coming in, number 1?
What's going on with him?
First Officer Kazaga, my second, Rada. We have heard that you use females. Most interesting.
They are that, sir.
And the android was mentioned too.
Okay,
Purchase it.
He is not for sale.
and back up.
Is second-hand merchandise.
Second-hand, sir.
I'm not sure that's what Jean-Luc was searching for, but
An identified starship is coming in. Still no signal at all.
let's see it.
It is under our control.
One of our starships under your control.
What?
It is a gift from us, with which we honor the hero of Maxia. Do you not remember the battle?
9 years ago in the Maxia Zeta star system.
Oh.
It's simply attacks. We defended ourselves.
Mistakes happen in space.
Uh-huh.
You want arriving vessel on main viewer, sir.
Yes.
There is no one aboard it. The log should be downloaded into the Enterprise's record.
Where did you get it?
What is the purpose of this? What?
There's something super duper wrong here.
Perhaps it is his conscience.
Bridge to sickbay.
You're not, dude.
It is about the battle I mentioned, Captain. A gift in honor of that occasion.
Yeah, be careful here. This is all interesting design.
It's the Stargazer. It's my old ship.
What?
How did you find it?
It was a derelict. That vessel is yours, if you wish to have it, at no cost. Very ugly.
Well, either the first and the second for the Ferengi are clued in on whatever this ruse is, or they're very good actors, or they're not. I mean, I should say they're not. They don't approve.
You said you felt something yourself, rather mechanical in nature.
I was remembering being at the helm of the Stargazer. A maneuver was being made.
Are they doing something to initiate these memories?
I can smell smoke. Can you smell it?
There's nothing.
Yeah.
That was just part of my memory.
Memory or nightmare?
We were traveling at warp 2 through the Maxia Zeta system, and this unidentified starship suddenly appeared and fired on us.
Oh, so this is the ship, okay, with the Ferengi.
First attack damaged the shields in the confusion.
No clue who they were?
Can you identify them, Vigo, if they come in a second time with our shields damaged?
Who?
Sir, who's Vigo?
He's my weapons officer on the Stargazer.
Oh, boy. Something, this memory's taking over.
Enemy vessel coming in for the kill, and when it came into the return arc,
Textbooks now referred to as card maneuver.
well, I did what any.
Haha.
Stopped right off the enemy vessels,
And blowing into maximum warp speed, you appeared for an instant.
and our attacker fired on the wrong one.
I did what any good helmsman would have done. You did it first, sir.
Oh, it was a save our skins maneuver.
Oh my God. You can do that? You can warp that short a distance? I guess, right?
The Ferengi are standing by for us to
I want to go over to her.
As soon as my people have made certain that she's safe.
And after I have another look at you, Captain.
Yeah. This is the Ferengi are doing something here. I wonder how old this is, because he said, I mean, I know that it was years ago for Jean-Luc, but I wonder how long, like, the Stargazer was in service. Trying to wonder, like, how close to Jim this would have been.
Constellation class, Starfleet Registry, NCC 2893.
2893.
I activated the emergency power cells. Amazing, they still work.
The rest of the ship is clear of surprises, Lieutenant Yar.
You know, when I read about this ship at the Academy, I never dreamed I'd ever be on her.
I'm sure she was commissioned decades after Jim, but it's almost like it's hazy in there.
Hello, old friend.
I can't believe she was lost.
Last entry dated 9 years ago, sir. By you. May she find her way without us. Apparently she did, sir.
Ha.
Lieutenant Yar, run a structural analysis on the Stargazer. Data, download all computers to the Enterprise and file. I'm going to look at my old cabin.
Let's be careful. I know this thing's been scanned and cleared and whatever, but they're doing something. It could be, I mean, it could be by a lot. I know, because these things happened before. Maybe some type of radiation, a signal, some type of carrier wave, or... Okay. Yeah, They've got something going on. I don't know how that affected him aboard the Enterprise.
Hero of Maxia.
Another headache. This really worries me.
Said my things.
I'll see they're sent to your Enterprise quarters.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
Enterprise now taking possession of Stargazer, Kazago.
Thank you.
Thought the Ferengi always made a profit on things.
He was not happy. First and second were not happy.
Starfleet has responded to our request, sir.
How was it, Captain?
Like going back to the house you grew up in, but no one's home.
It has troubled you.
Not half as much as this damned headache. Take over, number one.
He said that quiet.
What's wrong?
I wish I could say.
No, she knows. She sensed something. She absolutely didn't cover it up, but didn't share it. She's going to talk to him first, I bet. Dude, I'm with you, man. I have headaches all the time.
Shields weakening, Captain. Torpedoes armed. Where are they?
Hypnotism, I wonder, or...
What the Ferengi call the Battle of Maxia, the captain's personal log contains a much different version of that conflict. That the starship which Captain Picard attacked had in fact been under a flag of truce.
Oh, no way. That's utter horse shit.
Captain destroyed the ship without notice or provocation. An accident in engineering.
And what proof?
It is logged in his own voice.
No, there's no way. Come on.
Sir.
I mean, we can literally take ourselves apart at the molecular level and put ourselves back together. You're telling me somebody can't fake a voice?
It sounds like your voice.
It is number one. Destroyed the unknown vessel.
Simulated your voice somehow. I've already put data to work on.
Right.
I never made that log entry, of course.
That's at least one full day subspace communication to reach.
And one more full day for that answer to return.
Is he relieved the command during that time, or?
I can't believe they'd ask for your command.
Ferengi making these friendship overtures, it could become a severe embarrassment to Starfleet.
I'm certain the Ferengi are behind the fake.
Come on.
Headache back, sir?
I'll call the doctor again.
It's no wonder with all this going on. Try to relax.
Could they like manipulated his mind so he recorded that like in like a fugue state or something like that, like recently, and they used it? Because it'll come back and say, no, that's your voice.
Given by me, Jean-Luc Picard, commanding USS Stargazer.
Open hailing frequencies, Geordi.
Come on.
Open, sir.
I'll take it in the ready room. Secure channel, LaForge.
Is Riker gonna rip some ass here? I'll take it private.
Are our channels secure on your end?
It is now.
Are you aware of the details of the Battle of Maxia?
I would call the wanton destruction of an unarmed vessel infamy.
Okay, Bok he's going rogue.
What do you want of me?
Just one question.
As you humans say, I'm all ears.
If your Captain Bok knew about this, then why this peaceful meeting to present us with this Stargazer?
Right.
We freely give you back your derelict warship, and now you accuse us of crime, Riker? Bear no more insults.
Yeah, but why didn't he ask for anything? Why didn't he? Come on.
But something unusual has definitely been happening to you.
Well, the doctors always say the obvious is always a revelation.
Can we put him somewhere where he couldn't like a lead box, basically, or whatever the equivalent is, to keep like any type of like transmission from getting to him? Because it's obviously this thing is projecting. Like if we raise shields, is this sumbitch going to be able to get through it?
You didn't tell me it had been this bad.
But it's getting worse.
This should help a little.
Well,
The fight at Maxia, I destroyed an entire vessel, entire crew.
Did you have a choice?
I don't know anymore. I just don't know.
maybe he's just designed to like fog that memory.
The last 3 nights, I've heard these voices. I'm on the bridge of my old ship. There's fire all around me. The claxons, smoke.
I bet you they made him record it in the last 3 nights.
And then I give the order. And now the Stargazer is really here. And then that log. Am I going crazy?
You're being driven crazy.
How do I know I was in my right mind at Maxia? How do I know I'm in my right mind now?
Well, because Crusher and Troy can tell you are.
What was that?
Something to let you sleep.
I bet you Bok had somebody die on that ship, like a brother or a mom, or they don't have, the females don't do anything. So the dad or a brother, maybe, friend. And this is just pure and simple revenge. Not so simple.
And now, my dear Captain, you are ready to live the past.
I thought he was sinking into the bed.
You will enjoy injure yourself as you once injured me.
Yeah, he lost somebody. Or it could be Ferengi. Maybe he lost Prophet.
Fusion generator under search control, sir.
He's in his room, though.
Ready phasers and lock. Heading 77 Mark 20.
Having those flames create the organic light effect, which I'm assuming they're using actual flame for on Jean-Luc's face. Really cool.
All information is time-coded by entry, which...
I don't want a computer science lesson, Data.
One of these two logs is a forgery, sir.
Huh?
You're looking better, sir.
A little sleep, thanks to the good doctor, works wonders.
I don't believe this.
I'd like you to take a look at this brain scan. What are you doing here?
I thought I was captain of this starship.
Huh?
Except for Riker, I would like you all to return to your stations. Is that clear?
Sir.
Is he in his right mind?
I have business with the command.
What's going on? Will, you're gonna need to do something here, bud.
Release the Stargazer from the tractor beam, number one.
Sir, are you abandoning?
No, but her inertia will carry the Stargazer along with us.
A releaser, of course.
I keep sensing random thoughts, but two sets of them, as if they were his, but intermixed with other thoughts, which are also his.
Past and present?
I'm busy at the moment, Wesley.
I know, Mom, but this is important. When I went back to the main sensors and engineering...
He was boosting sensors.
Does this have something to do with Captain Picard?
Yes, ma'am. And I noticed that these patterns are the same as those picked up from the low-intensity transmissions from the Ferengi ship.
He glanced at them.
Engineering has nothing like it on record.
Let's get to the captain.
No, they might be affecting the captain. To Riker.
Yeah. Yep. Wesley glanced at some carrier waves, and he was able to match them up from memory.
Something over there is affecting the captain's thought patterns.
Give me a location on Captain Picard.
He's in transporter room 3.
He's going over the Stargazer.
Computer emergency order to transporter room 3.
New information. Captain Picard is no longer...
It's off the ship. Lock on him, bring him right back.
Collecting on an old debt.
Low intensity beam of intermittent pulse inside this starship.
Inside Captain Picard's quarters.
You transferred some of his belongings from the Stargazer?
That's it, yep. But how did he get in beforehand?
Stargazer is now powering up, sir.
Okay, is there a way to take her shields up? I mean, our phasers, if we just hit her enough, they'll drop, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember the crime you committed against my very blood.
Okay.
You murdered my only son.
Your son.
Oh.
Ferengi vessel had attacked me.
And I have spent these years searching, seeking a proper blood revenge.
Well, where did you get this tech? You didn't make it.
I am rich, Picard. Yet 2 of these cost me the profits of an entire life. Its computers will answer your orders.
How are you beaming out? How'd he beam out?
Captain Picard has beamed himself to the Stargazer, which is now moving away from us under its own power. Enterprise to Stargazer, please respond.
Anything? He's going to relive this memory and think the Enterprise is the Ferengi vessel. Jeez, oh Pete's.
Considerable fire damage to interior surface, but none of her main systems are crippled.
Probably is when the captain destroyed his Ferengi attackers 9 years ago, otherwise fully armed.
Great.
Seems to be a network of miniature circuitry, sir. Incredibly complex. Maybe an amplifier.
Technology, where's the origin of this tech?
And if this can pick up or magnify thought-altering transmission...
It could have prepared him for whatever is happening now.
Contact the Ferengi vessel, Lieutenant.
Wouldn't they have had to have one of those on board for him to have these headaches before?
Do you respond?
Why is our giftee under power, human?
I will discuss that with your captain.
Human.
He's beamed himself aboard the Stargazer.
How do you have possession of that? If your captain is criminal enough to own one...
Izago, you know who controls those spheres. First officer to first officer.
I like this.
Is not seemly to question one's own DaiMon, Riker.
I have the Stargazer.
Switch now.
Do not attack again. We are on a peaceful mission. Give your identity.
Yeah.
Arm torpedoes. Fire the shields at full power.
We've lost him, sir.
When you put up the shields, sir.
Yep. Well, why didn't we beam in when the shields were oh, boy.
Get a fire control party up here.
Shields weakening, Captain.
Fusion generator online.
I like how they're not talking, but they're reacting. The images.
We can't take another hit, Captain.
If this thought plays out, he'll do the Picard maneuver.
I now feel anger from our captain.
The Battle of Maxia, sir.
The Picard maneuver.
There is no defense, sir.
Then devise one, fast.
Huh? Get Wesley up here, man.
We do not wish to become involved in what has become clearly a...
Fine, Enterprise out.
DaiMon Bok no longer commands this vessel. First Officer has confined him for engaging in this unprofitable adventure. Good luck, First Officer Riker.
Nice, nice.
I have computed a possibility, Commander.
Maybe turn that thing off then?
This class starship has enough power to use our tractor beam on it, sir.
I hope you're right, Data.
No. I mean, he's going to fire everything, but how many photon tubes does he have? I guess he could just do a spread, right? Where they just like choo 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 choo.
The Ferengi are using their thought devices on you. Look for a silver sphere. Destroy it with your
Come
phaser.
on. If he's armed, I mean, does he walk around with a gun?
Phaser.
Wouldn't there be somebody in that seat? Like in his mind, like a ghost?
Destroy the sphere.
Come on, fire, man. Got a little bit of a kick to it. The shields are still up, though.
Are you all right, Captain? Captain, are you all right?
Get him to lower shields.
Where is Bok?
Removed from command, sir, and placed under guard for his act of personal vengeance. Seems there was no profit in it.
Wasn't profitable. I love that.
In revenge, there never is.
Oh, what a great line. No profit in revenge. Oh, my gosh.
Dead rest. And the past remain the past. Beam me home, Riker.
Ah. Is that our leave line? Beam me home, Riker. Love it. That tractor beam's back on. All right, everybody, we just finished watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode 9, The Battle, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished watching The Battle, the 9th episode of the very first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Okay, so we learned a ton, at least I did, about Jean-Luc Picard in this one. So I guess his prior command, I don't know, that's a long time to go, 9 years. One of his prior commands was the Stargazer, which is an interesting, and I'm sure all of you probably know this, I'm not even really definitively sure how much time goes from the original series to the Next Generation. I want to say 70 years, like somebody told me it's 70 years, but I'm not sure. And someone also told me the star dates are kind of wonky from then till, that's one of the things, dates and stuff, I cannot look up. I made that mistake early in the original series by trying to, I was going to do star dates. And as soon as you go in, it starts telling you all these related things that I hadn't watched yet. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, no, and I turned it off. So I don't dare look up anything like that. But if someone could please let me know. I think it's 70 years between the original series and Next Gen, but I'm not sure. So I was trying to basically reverse engineer how far away, if the Stargazer, when she was commissioned, because she looks kind of closer to the NCC 1701 as far as design, as far as the dome, all that stuff kind of looks to the saucer section sort of looks to me more like our original Enterprise. And I'm just curious because even if she was made 20 years, she'd be closer, I guess, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, again, as soon as they said, we have an older class starship, I thought, oh my God, how old, I again, if you're watching me and haven't seen the original series reactions, I am a huge fan. In fact, it's my favorite spaceship of all time, the NCC 1701 with the spinning nacelles. Love that ship. I'll be very honest. There was a little bit of me that was hoping that whenever the Stargazer rolled in, she'd have the spinning nacelles. But, I guess I'll just die wanting. I don't know. It was still cool, but spinning nacelles would have done it for me. We learned a ton about Jean-Luc, but we also learned a lot about the Ferengi as well, because I don't know if we haven't had them. See, they're a brand new race for me, so I don't know a ton about them. They weren't in them. I know they were talked about, I think, in the movies, and honest to goodness, the most that I know about them came from Lower Decks. So I don't know any of this sort of the history behind all of this. I mean, Encounter at Farpoint is my first kind of live action experience with them. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't think that I've run across them. Anywho, it doesn't matter. This is all new information to me. And the idea of how they kind of break everything. And I knew that they were into profits. I knew all that. I knew that they're like their entire society is based off of, you know, a business model and profit margins and all this great stuff, which I think is awesome. I think it's it reminds me in many ways of some of our societies that grew up in the original series based on like a very interesting sort of like, I think of a Piece of the Action where, you know, that entire planet got a hold of the gangsters of the 1920s book or whatever it was and based their entire society off of that. And I mean, I know that it's the Ferengi are way more detailed, I think. But again, basing an entire society off of capitalism, that's relatable. But I mean, the cool thing about that is now we get to find out. And I think this is my point for this one, for the Ferengi side of everything, is that we were really able to see that they're not vilifying the entire Ferengi race. They are not doing that because we had somebody in the first officer, while still absorbed with profit. That was the angle. It wasn't so much that Bok was going rogue, you know, in all of these other, maybe in the traditional sense, like if we, like the NCC 1701D, Jean-Luc had gone rogue and was doing things that Will didn't agree with, they would be a decidedly different tipping point than what it was for the Ferengi. For the Ferengi, it ultimately came back to, this is not profitable, which I think is really, really dope. And he put him away and he said, you know, one first officer to another, goodbye, First Officer Riker. That's cool. I don't want any people that we encounter, if it's an entire race of people, I want examples of both. There's no, like, to my knowledge, there's no totally like pristine, pure, great race out there that's, you know, all good and never made a mistake. And there's no pure evil, you know, where we encounter them and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, you know, anytime we get that little cross section right there gave us a really, really, you know, they're like us. There's good and there's bad. Bok, I was speculated during the reaction that it could have been a brother or his father. It was his son. So, ooh. And not that that's, I mean, losing a brother and a father is bad, but man, losing a son, ooh, I understand losing a child like that would definitely shape what was going on, to the point where now that we can kind of sit back and look at it, Bok actually compromised all of his principles, compromised all of his beliefs because he did something that wasn't profitable, right? Wouldn't that be considered almost like the ultimate kind of casting away of your earlier identity? Like, he gave everything up. He said the profits of a lifetime went into, I guess, the repair of the Stargazer and these, like, the disc things. I wish we still have the amplifier, right? Boy, I wish we could have been able to keep that, maybe replicate that type of stuff or a defense against it, because boy, oh boy, that was not good, especially since it was able to apparently get through the ship's hull, through shields. It took Wesley to figure out the carrier waves. That kid. I'm going to end with this because it's going to be time for Q&A very quickly, but I wanted to say that, you know, these characters are very, very interesting. And I've been getting comments really throughout the entirety of my run on the original series and Lower Decks and Star Trek Continues and the animated series and all of those. But, you know, again, I've been able to kind of glean from the community that I talked about it before, that Wesley is sort of there's a debate about whether or not he's a good character. And I've been told now recently that the same, non-spoilery, that the same debate sort of kind of comes up around Counselor Troy. And again, I'm not yucking anybody's yum. If you don't like a character, there's plenty of characters I don't like. So, you know, I'm certainly not going to tell anybody who they should like or who they shouldn't not like, right? But I mean, point fingers, I like Wesley. I think he's a really, again, Will Wheaton fan for a long time, so I'm definitely going to be, I'm jaded. I'm coming in with a lot of positive reinforcement for the actor. So, but the character in and of itself, I glanced at what is essentially just wave patterns on a screen, recorded it, went down to engineering, saw another wave pattern on a screen and was like, that's very much like what I just saw up in Mom's. Are you kidding me? This kid, man, photographic memory, no kidding. Holy smokes. Incredible asset. I know, but I mean, if people don't like Wesley, know this. I do, and I'll take the hit. I'll take the smoke for liking Wesley. And with that being said, I'm just going to double down. I love Troy. She is an incredible asset aboard that ship. I mean, as soon as you have an initial engagement with somebody, you turn off the viewer, you look over, not lying. That is I mean, what a boon. Oh my God, you're never going in blind, at least not that we've seen so far, and you're given information that could absolutely change the encounter. I mean, it's almost like it's cheating, and I love it. Listen, if you're going to cheat like that. That's a good cheating. I love that. But friends, there are a ton of questions that need to be answered about this, the 9th episode of the very first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, The Battle. There's things that I just don't know, but there's one person that knows it all and lets us know that they know it all. So we have to turn once again to them to see if we can find out what happened behind the cameras of this episode. Cue. Greetings, mon capitaine, and welcome to another edition of Q&A. Friends, this is where after having watched and reacted to a Next Generation episode of Star Trek, I like to dig a little bit deeper and find out what went on behind the cameras, because as we've often heard, the stories behind the cameras may be just as exciting as the ones they put in front of the cameras. But had I looked up these things before watching the episode, it likely would have ruined it for me. And now, to keep myself from wandering off into the weeds for a couple of hours, I've given myself 5 categories to explore. The first, writer and director. Who were they? The second, guest stars. Did we have any? The third, of the core cast or the Big Nine. Who was present? The fourth, and spiciest of the categories, the production notes. What went on behind the cameras? And the fifth and final category, a memorable quote from this episode. Let's get started. And now, friends, for our writer and director, our very first category of this Q&A. Our writer for this episode, we actually again had 2 in Herbert Wright and Larry Forrester. And our director, our very first returning director, my friends, it is our 20-something wonderkind, as we have Rob Bowman return after having such a success on Where No One Has Gone Before, returns to direct this episode and officially becomes our very first twofer. Friends, let's move on. All right, my dear friends, and now for our second category of guest stars. Did we have any? We certainly did. We have a couple Ferengi that deserve mention here, as Frank Corstino plays Bok, we had Doug Warhit as Kazago, and we had Robert Towers as Rada. Let's move on. And now for our third category of the core cast or the Big Nine. Who was present? Well, we have to go over who the Big Nine were, as we have Picard, Riker, Troy, Data, Geordi, Worf, Tasha Yar, and the Crushers, Beverly and Wesley. Good news, all hands present and accounted for. Let's move on. And now, friends, for our fourth category, the spiciest of all the categories, the production notes. Time to find out what went on behind the cameras. Let's get started. Okay, friends, and for our first production note, I love stuff like this. This is a quote from Rob Bowman, at the time, our 20-something director, coming fresh off of Where No One Has Gone Before. He explains his favorite shot of the episode, and that was Patrick Stewart on the bridge of the Stargazer, whenever he had sort of his ghost crew around him. Rob Bowman explained how they did that shot, and I love stuff like this. Okay, so Rob Bowman says, and again, this is just a great trick. We talked about it a lot in TOS and basically everything that we've done. He uses a Steadicam anytime he's not on board the Enterprise to add a little bit of movement, a little bit of destabilization and tension. And so whenever they went over onto the Stargazer's bridge, they used a Steadicam. And what Rob Bowman did was, in every position, he made sure he got the height, all the degrees in which the shot was being taken. And when he was filming Patrick Stewart alone on that bridge and capturing his side of everything, what he then did was hand off all of his notes and degrees and positioning, camera positionings, to Rob Legato, who was the FX director. Now, Rob was able to then go into the same set, use the the exact same positioning for the camera that he used while adding like a fog lens and a couple other little tricks on there, and filmed the actors playing the ghost crew. Then in post-production, what they did was lower the transparency and basically merge the two shots. And because they had precise degrees on all the camera angles that were taken in both of the sequences, it was able to kind of, I mean, it was a lot in post-production, but it appeared to mash and mesh up quite well. This is a great bit of kind of almost like guerrilla filmmaking to be able to go in and do all this stuff while actually holding on to sort of the principles of cinematography inside a very, very small window of production. I love stuff like this, and it shows why Rob Bowman was asked back. Friends, let's move on. And now for our second production note, and I think this one's short and sweet, but I think it's pretty cool. The Stargazer Bridge is actually a redress of the NCC 1701D's Battle Bridge. Let's move on. And now for our third production note. And friends, this is something that I've actually, we're almost done season 1 over on Patreon. So I've seen more of this. And at the time I wouldn't have recognized it, but this is the first episode where we see Picard's quarters filled with the starbase painting. And what are the other things they have in there? The bookshelves and the sextant and all of that stuff. This is the first time it appears, but we see it in subsequent episodes. At least I have so far in season 1. Let's move on. And now for our fourth production note. Again, this one's short and sweet, but it's something that's pretty memorable. We see it quite a bit, as this marks the first episode where Wesley wears his rainbow striped top, something that he will never take off, at least for the remainder of season 1. Let's move on. And now, my friends, for our final production note. And again, I thought I'd piggyback off of the Wesley uniform comment from before. But this one deals, and again, this is Will Wheaton much later, kind of looking back on Wesley in this episode specifically. I think he was asked this at a con sometime. And Will Wheaton, who has such a great attitude about it, this is what he came up with. And I have to quote this because it's hella funny, all right? So he says, this is the episode where Wesley went from, and I quote, mildly annoying to vehemently hated. And many of you addressed the same things. He said, this was where we had a kid who basically superseded senior staff and came up with the solution. And I'm going to do this quote again. Perhaps the worst way to help the audience accept that this kid is going to be part of the main crew. I love it. I love how aware Will Wheaton was of everything. And again, he was a kid. He wasn't writing these lines or episodes. He showed up on set and did his job. I thought he did a great job. The character, I guess, I mean, I definitely can see where people would be annoyed by Wesley. I still like him. And I guess it's, again, Will Wheaton he's money. And I'm going to give Wesley the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Let's move on. And now, my friends, for our fifth and final category, a memorable quote from this episode. And this is what Jean-Luc, this quote, and again, I'm taking this because of my love for another franchise, but I thought, boy, oh boy, I have a chance to incorporate it here into a Q&A for Star Trek The Next Generation. And this is the line that Picard delivers when he sees the Stargazer, and he simply says, "Hello, old friend." Thus ends another installment of Q&A, until such time as you and I are able to play with our good friend Jean-Luc again. Behave yourselves.